Hey guys, welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm going to check out the new base attack stuff here on Alpha 10 today, and I want to try 3 different types of bases. Okay, the first type of base I want to try is a Stilt style base. I just whipped this together in creative mode, okay? These are 15 blocks high, and then the core I suspended 31 blocks high because I think the hacker tool that the Xerax use only has a range of 30 blocks. So I placed this thing as close to the ground as I could, so it is definitely 31 blocks high above the ground level. I've armed it. It's a very, very basic base just to test the concept of a Stilt base. The second type I want to test is a traditional fortress style base. So this is just one base that has absolutely everything in it and is armed to the teeth. Or the third base type that I've set up, which is kind of like a scatter base. It's kind of like how the Xerax, how the Talon and the Polaris set up their base. They have lots of individual buildings that are surrounded by defense posts. So what I've done is I've spawned in the proto base here, the solar furnace, a solar garden that I sort of whipped together, repair bay, and a couple of these things which are basically just defense outposts. Now, this is going to be, I think, the most interesting test. I'm pretty sure the fortress, because of its overwhelming firepower, will survive anything. But the fortress is very much a kind of end game thing. You'd need a massive amount of resources to build that thing and arm it the way it is. It is kind of like the ultimate end game base, whereas this is more organic. This is probably something that you're going to be more likely to build up, I think, based on my experience anyway. And the Stilt base, well, the Stilt base is more just a sort of interesting kind of experiment, to be honest. But let's go back to the Stilt base now, and let's fire off a base attack and see what happens. Okay, turrets off. We will actually get attacked. I want to see if these troop transports, if the ground troops can actually hack their way into the base from the ground level. Alright, we have some ground troops. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? My base is all the way up there. My core is 31 blocks high. Are these guys actually going to be able to hack it? I've turned the turrets off because I actually want to see what happens here. The turrets are far too effective, even against multiple base attacks. So I should turn them off. These guys are looking fairly confused now. So, well, crap, what do we do now? Well, as we could just stand here for a while. Maybe they'll come down here. You imagine if these turrets were on, they'd all be dead. Crikey. You don't really have an answer for a Stilt base, do you? Okay, the hacking tool has started. That's interesting. Whoa. Wow. They're really hacking it. Let's see. The range of that is 30 blocks or so, I'm told. Can they hack a Stilt base? The core is all the way at the top there. Or is it just that the base needs to be within 30 blocks, and any block, they can hack through any block kind of to the core? I don't know. Well, you can't have it, Xerax. You blew the core, which blew the structural integrity, which blew the core again, and that base is no longer. Although it still says Xerax on it. Well, where's the Xerax core then? Can I do a P on this? No core present. That base is disabled. So that's an interesting tactic. That is an interesting tactic. You can set your core so that if they blow it up, structural integrity fails, and then they place their own core in, and it collapses it, and the base remains powered down. Interesting. But it does turn out that they can hack their way 31 blocks away. I think the range of the hacking tool is 30 or so blocks, or even maybe less than that, because that pulse wave looks only maybe 15. It only maybe got to the top of this tower, which is 15 blocks. That pulse tool, if they can connect to any block of the base, I think they can hack your core. I think that's what it means. So unless your base is 30 blocks underground with no surface accessibility whatsoever, then maybe you're safe. But certainly Stilt base here is not immune. However, it's still incredibly effective, to the point that I had to turn the turrets off in order for the ground troops to actually be able to land. And that was even with the flak turrets off, just the cannon and Gatling turrets. Absolutely nailed base attack. So the elevated position of these turrets gives them a fantastic field of fire and great stopping power. So definitely a relevant design choice. So let's check out the next one. Now, given how well armed the fortress is, even in compared to the Stilt base back there, I've absolutely no doubt this thing is going to kick the butt out of any base attack. And actually, what we'll probably see is they won't get anywhere near. Still, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Here we go. 2 troop transports is inbound. They haven't got a chance. I mean, I don't think an artillery turret is going to be able to hit them because they're moving and the shell velocity of these things sucks. But we got lasers, we got rockets, we got missiles. Bye. Thanks for playing. I mean, it was a closed competition, really, wasn't it? A fortress style base is always going to defeat any kind of drone attack, I think. But like I said before, this thing is very much kind of very late game, and this thing is just enormous as well. It's a ridiculous base. So the more sort of, I suppose, the more accurate kind of fortress that you're gonna be building is probably something more akin to my old Pioneer outpost. I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is a more, I think, more realistic fortress. So maybe let's try this one quickly. Plonk it down somewhere. I think this will still work even in Alpha 10. Okay, so the Pioneer outpost has 4 rocket turrets and a couple of cannon turrets, and that's it. And the Xerox are already getting their asses kicked. The idea with the Pioneer outpost is it's probably more likely an organically grown base. Things are kind of spread out within the walls of the base itself here. So these guys are busy mopping up some Xerox on the ground. Let's trigger a base attack, see what happens. Here we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Why? Okay, so with the big fortress, I got 2 transports, and this time we've got 5 drones and a transport. Well, here we go. This will be interesting. We've got missile turrets firing already. Yeah. Drones are opening fire on the turret systems. I may lose a turret here. Now, we did kind of do this before where the proto base had 4 rocket turrets. So this one's got the extra 2 cannon turrets and things are a little bit more spread out. So we should see less overall damage, I think. But they are definitely going to maybe destroy even 2 troop transports landed. Oh. Ended. It'll be interesting, can the troops get in though? I don't think they will be able to, not with missile turrets, but they have destroyed that one. This cannon turret needs to get on with it. You got 2 men on the ground. 2 men on the ground. 1 down. Come on, cannon turret, reacquire your target, sir. Down. Brilliant. There. And that's just, I think that's just normal patrols. So there we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty effective. Your fortress style base is definitely going to be pretty damn good against any base attack if you can arm it well enough. And again, this is very much a sort of mid-late game base, lightly armed. 4 missile turrets, 2 cannon turrets is enough to take out a base attack though, just about. But I did take damage and lost a turret, so repairs are in order. Whereas that big stupid fortress over there, no repairs, maybe a bit of ammo replenishment, and that's about it. So that's good. Traditional fortress bases are fine. So the last check is this kind of scattered out, spread out base type. This is probably more, I think, more attuned to my playstyle, where I build as and when I can, but I like to build ready-made stuff like the solar furnace here that's small enough to not take an enormous amount of grinding to build up. So I think lots of little bases that have particular functions and maximizing the use of solar power is going to be a fairly common tactic, I think, going forward. So we've got the proto base, which is just the main base, solar furnace, solar powered repair platform, a solar garden, just as an example of 4 kind of small base types that you might have relatively close by. And then we've surrounded them in these defense posts, which we can upgrade as well with 4 extra turrets as well. But otherwise they've got 4 cannon and 1 flak and all 8 sentry guns around them. Now what's interesting about this particular test is what are the Zirax going to attack? They've got a choice of 6 bases here. 7 bases, sorry. Which one are they going to go for? They're absolutely spoiled for choice, but out of the main bases here, only those 2 are seriously armed. 4 cannon turrets on there, 4 flak cannons on the solar furnace. This one has literally just got 4 sentries. In fact, I don't think I've actually powered that on. Let's turn that on. There we go. And of course these ones. So there is definitely more guns in play than with the fortress, or at least the second fortress test that we did. Anyway, let's see what happens when we spawn a base. Attack. Come on. Attack me. They don't want to attack me. They don't want to attack me. I don't understand. I think I might have broken it, guys. So I don't know whether it's a limitation of the base attack system, but no matter how many times I hit BA check, they don't want to attack me. If I do BAZP5, there you go, spawns the troops there. And they seem to get confused there because they were running right and then they're running left. Well, they're getting shot from every bloody direction, either way. And then they made a beeline for the repair pad. But between the solar furnaces flak, these 2 defense pads, they're not going to get through there. But for whatever reason, I can't get it to spawn a proper base attack. And I wonder if that is because I've got too many bases. So I think I broke it, guys. That's the answer to keep yourself safe from base attack. Just build a cluster of bases, and then it breaks the game. Yeah, it certainly looks that way anyway. I can't get it to attack. Anyway, I'm fairly confident that had a base attack come along, the combined firepower of the 4 defense posts. Hello? What the? Oh! 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 What the hell? How did they spawn inside the base? Oh no! My base is their base. This is chaos. Oh god. This is what I was afraid would happen. If the Zirax managed to capture one of your defense posts. Oh! Oh! Okay. Alright, I see how it is. You want to play like that. You want to play like that. You want to do the sneaky. You want to do the sneaky, is that? Stop blowing up my bases. How did they get all just spawn randomly inside of here? Core's all the way down there. My bases could be in trouble here. My bases could be really in trouble here. You guys need to reacquire a target at that thing, please, because he's kicking your butt. Yo, turrets. Yo! You actually want to deal with that, or are you just going to look at the sky and... Yeah, see, this is a big problem. This is the problem with the cluster. If they capture one of your outer defense posts... you could be in serious trouble. Look at this. Why aren't my turrets defending me? Do something! I'm going to have to do everything for you. There goes the solar furnace. I can't even tell if that crosshair is on something. There goes the sentry gun at least. Base is under attack by the Zirax. Wait, okay. Oh, right. So the game isn't broken. It was just taking an enormous amount of time to figure out what to do. Okay, this is gone on too long. Things finally got interesting. Okay, so my apologies, Elion. The base attack thing was working fine, but it was taking a very long time to actually do anything. So I think you can forgive me for thinking it was broken. Anyway, exactly what I thought might happen happened, and the Zirax captured one of my defense posts, because they just randomly managed to spawn inside it somehow. I hope that doesn't happen within a normal game, and I hope that's something to do with me spamming the base check and spamming all different bloody base attack commands and stuff like that, rather than, you know, the game going, well, I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to literally cheat, spawn the Xerax right inside the base, and yeah, capture it from in there, because that's definitely cheating. You definitely can't defend against that. Anyway, so cluster base, I think against a normal base attack would be fine, but if they do get close enough to one of these defense towers, they could turn against you and be a real problem. So that's interesting. It's good to know. That was also hilarious. So we go. 3 different types of base, 3 different types of effectiveness, but also 3 different types of kind of availability as well. Your playstyle. Like I said before, Fortress is definitely something that's end late game, and you're probably going to be more like a cluster base setup, I think, if you're building up. Unless you're trying to just literally avoid all base attacks, in which case, you know, a Stilt base, or maybe an underground base, underwater base, might be best to begin with. Let me know in the comments what you guys have come up with so far against these base attacks. These are just 3 examples that I thought of. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have probably tested out underground bases as well. So let me know in the comments, how effective is that? What have been your experiences with base attacks so far, and how has that changed your play style? I'm really interested to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, useful, informative, and maybe even slightly entertaining. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.